Hey, welcome back to Let's Party with Lindsay. I really enjoyed what Efka did with marinating meat. So I thought it'd be a great idea to share with you something special that I cook around this time of year because 4th of July is coming up. So we're going to be making sloppy joes. I prefer a slow cooker version, or if you're my mom, a crock pot version. So let's just go over what's going to be in these sloppy joes so you know if you're going to make these, what you should buy. So we're going to need some celery. I've already started chopping that, usually about like a cup of celery. This was 3 of those stalks. You'll need bell pepper. You can go light on that if you want. I like using a whole bell pepper. Green one is best. A couple onions. Officially, I think it's like a cup of onion, but I like going, again, a little bit heavier on my veggies when I'm making sloppy joes. I think though, if you just cut them really small, nobody really knows they're in there, so you can sneak them in, and then you just have flavor. You're going to also need a couple of tablespoons of brown sugar. So this is 2 tablespoons of dark brown and a tablespoon of light brown. I like mixing them both together. I can't really commit to one or the other. Probably same reason I can't have a tattoo. Just can't seem to make up my mind. So you're also going to need some tomato paste, or if you're in the UK, tomato puree. You can get it in a can or in a tube. This is just the tube one. You're going to need some sweet chili sauce. This is Healthy Boy Thai sweet chili sauce, and it is so good. Our friends Callum and Emily found it, and we had it at theirs, and now we just can't go back to any other sweet chili sauce. This is great stuff. Honestly, it is great on banh mi. If you have leftover from making sloppy joe, you can make a really good mushroom. If you have
same thing.
mushroom burger with some rocket and some mayonnaise and a little bit of sweet chili, get that mushroom real good. Oh, it's so good. And then we're gonna have some Worcestershire. Worcestershire is the county. Yeah. Worcester is the sauce. Sorry. And then you're also going to need some meat. I went with some 25% fat beef mince and some 20% fat beef mince. In total, you're going to want 1.5 kilograms of minced beef, or if you're American, it'll be 3 pounds. So that's all your stuff. We're also going to be seasoning with like salt and pepper, but that'll come later. Yeah, so I'm just going to continue chopping, and then we'll come back when it's time to do the next step. Seems like a lot of people are needing the hospital today. My arm hurts. No, it's okay. It's just really burnt. Wear your sunscreen, kids. So something that I think everyone should know is about how to chop a pepper. This is something it took me a really, really long time to learn, because I used to like try and dangerously cut around here and then shake out all the seeds and everything. But it's much easier if you just do like I did and just chop down one side, down the other, and just make your way around the pepper like this. And it keeps all those seeds in one little bunch, and then at the very end you can go whoop, and now you have like a little pepper parcel with all the little bits that you don't want anymore. And then you have all your peppers here. So, handy thing to know. So I recently learned that people from Asian cultures, particularly like Southeast Asia, they chop peppers a different way than we do. They tend to chop it across, and then like Western cultures tend to chop it lengthways, which I think is kind of interesting. Don't know why that divide happened, but it's kind of cool when you learn stuff like that. Ooh, also, fun fact about sloppy joes. The sloppy joe, it is said, comes from 1930s. I think it's like in Iowa. There was a chef, his name was Joe, and he made loose meat sandwiches, and that was the birthplace of the Sloppy Joe. That's only one story, though, because there are lots of stories out there. That's the one I like, though. And then in the 60s, a company came along and put it in a can, and I'll never forgive them. Suddenly then, lunch ladies around the nation were making terrible Sloppy Joes. And then Adam Sandler sang a song about it, and that restored peace.
You always get so sad cutting onions, don't you?
I know. I just think about all the people in the world who are having bad Sloppy Joes. And they could be having good Sloppy Joes, but they're eating from a can. And it just makes me so sad. All right, really important, salt your aromatics when you put them in here. So I've just got a little bit of olive oil in here. You can use canola or whatever, it doesn't really matter. Butter is great. But yeah, get your aromatics in here, and by that I mean the onion, the celery, and the green pepper. Get those in, and what we want to do is we want to make them nice and soft. We don't want them to turn into like an extreme color. We just want to see them soften up a lot. So salt is going to really help with that, but don't over season. I don't think you have to worry about that too much though, because we're about to add it to a whole bunch of meat and all sorts, so I wouldn't worry about that. Under seasoned, bad. Right, so while our aromatics are softening, I just wanted to talk about a good game that you can play when you're having this party. You know, all these people are getting around and you got a big group. What kind of game will work well with that? I suggest Monikers. It's fabulous. It's fun. It's funny. In this game, basically, you're going to be going into teams. And when you're in these teams, each person's going to get so many cards that they can look at and choose from the ones that they're more confident about. So we have Schrodinger's cat, Samson, the biblical hero, Archimedes, Alex Trebek without a mustache. So these are all things like if they see it and they think, oh man, I have no idea what that is, maybe discard it. But if it's stuff that they know about and are confident about, they can keep it. And basically what's going to happen is everybody is going to put these ones that they've chosen into a deck. And then that's the deck that you're going to be playing from. So you're always going to know a little bit about what's in that deck. And then you basically play kind of a game of charades. At first, oh no, not charades at first. At first, it's going to be, you have to describe Schrodinger's cat. So you might say, there was this scientist and he put a feline into a box. Is it there? Is it alive? Is it dead? That sort of thing. And then they'll have to guess, oh, Schrodinger's cat. And you're going to be scoring points if you've got your team to guess it right. And then you take it another step. Next level, you're using the same deck of cards that you had before, but this time it's going to be like charades. You can't talk. Oh, nope, sorry. This time it's going to be one word. You can only use one word. So you might just say feline, and then they'll have to remember, okay, that would be Schrodinger's cat. And then after that, the next one, that'll be charades. And then you could take it even further. You could, my goodness, you could make a puppet show. You could throw a sheet over your head and be a ghost. I don't know, whatever you want to do. It's so much fun and it's guaranteed to make people laugh. I will say it tends to work a little bit better if you give people a little more choice over what can go into the deck. If you've got people that maybe aren't up on pop culture, they might want to have more cards to choose from. Just a suggestion. But yeah, it'll go really great with any group. I'm going to go stir my stuff. All right. So once your celery and onion and green pepper has softened, then we're going to add the beef. I've already done that here. So what we're looking to do right now is get it really small. So this is a sloppy joe. I want it to be sloppy. I want these pieces of meat to be minuscule. So work really hard at keeping it moving and crunching it down with your spoon so that it gets really small. And we want it to go brown. Don't forget to season it. Again, we're adding more meat here, so we're gonna have to add a bit more salt and pepper as well to keep the seasoning going. And it will help these things soften even more and brown and continue to cook. So I've added this meat and it's cooled the pan down. So I've turned my heat back up a little bit so that it doesn't just get swampy and weird. It continues to cook. And I've got to keep this meat moving around because I want to keep making it smaller and continue to brown it.
Have you seasoned it?
Oh, not yet.
So important to season it.
So important to season. And we're going to be using white pepper because, oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Right. Okay, so in Elaine and Efka's video, they had to use white pepper because they were out of black pepper. We have black pepper, but our grinder is broken, so we have to use white pepper. How funny is that? So with the assistance of my lovely husband, I have put all of the meat into the meat along with the aromatics into our slow cooker, and now I'm going to add brown sugar, I think it's like a tablespoon of this.
2 tablespoons.
2 tablespoons. All right, cool. This is the one thing that I don't add more of. I always add more sweet chili and tomato paste. Worcestershire sauce. I think 2 tablespoons is more than enough. I think that, like, tangy, funky, like, that's enough of that. All right. This was a prop. It's real, but I have one that's already open, so I'm gonna go get that for you. All right, so starting about an inch from the top. No, this is something I always add more of. All right, so we've done 6 ounces of the tomato puree. Healthy boy. Healthy boy. All right, okay, healthy boy. Half of you are going in. Oh, look how happy he is. It's like chubby boy and he's just going. Okay. That's so good. So this isn't looking too great just yet, but it's because all of our ingredients need to have their own little party for 4 to 6 hours in the slow cooker. So we're going to put it on low heat, and I'm going to let it go full 6 hours. I definitely think you got to let it take its time with this sort of thing. Truly let them get to know each other in the pot. So I will see you in 6 hours, and meanwhile, I'm going to go play this game. Okay, so welcome back. It has been 4 hours, and the joes are looking pretty good. They're not quite ready yet. We're not as squishy as I want them to be. It's really weird. When you describe a sloppy joe, it's really unappealing. But it actually is so delicious. Now we've got quite a bit of fat. I used really high fat content beef. So I'm not surprised that there's a lot of fat here. I'm gonna have to skim that off at some point because I don't want to feed it to my coworkers, but I'm just gonna get a sense of the flavor here. I think I'm gonna have to adjust a few things because I'm going for a particular color. I want this to be redder, and it's not very red, which is why I've brought out a few red things to help us out. And then I also like mine quite sweet, so this guy's making a return, our healthy boy. And I might bring some sugar back into the party. We'll see. So let's just see how this tastes. Okay, it's really good. it could be a little spicier. So I think Healthy Boy is gonna join us for another round. I'm thinking even ketchup, because that's kind of sweet. And that will bring a little bit of that like vinegary tang that it has in it. I'm gonna hold back on the tomato puree for now, but I am gonna put these guys in. So we're gonna go with a little bit of ketchup here. I don't know, what do you call that? Like a quarter cup? We should probably be writing these down so that I can put them in the description later. Yeah, Healthy Boy's coming back out. So this was gonna be like 12 ounces, but I'm gonna put some more in. So we're changing things up a little bit. Okay, thank you, Healthy Boy. Give this a stir. Let's see how our color looks. Okay, we're getting closer to the shade that I'm looking for. I'm just gonna taste again to see how we're doing. I do want some tomato flavor to be coming through, so I might end up putting some puree in a second. I just want to see. Okay, already that's a lot better, like with the spice and the sweetness, but I'm still not quite there with the color. So I'm gonna go in with the tomato paste or the tomato puree because I want it to be a little more red, but I don't want to get any more sweet. So I'm gonna go with this. So this will be like another, what, 2 tablespoons or so? I hope you're remembering this, honey.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, every time I make Sloppy Joes, it's different because I feel differently about it every time I make it. So sometimes I'll be wanting something a little bit more sweet. Sometimes I'll be wanting something a little more spicy. I almost always go for the same shade of like dark brown red. So there's always gonna be quite a bit of tomato paste in mine because I like it to be a little darker. Right, let's see if this has been incorporated. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to skim some of this fat off because it's not, you don't want to serve that to your guests at your party if you're having a party.
You might get fat all over your Monikers cards.
You might get fat all over your Monikers cards. Am I getting fat on my Monikers cards? Oh, yeah. Oh, my gosh. Yeah. I think what we need to do is go another couple hours. We've only gone 4 on this. I may turn this heat up. Right, so it has been another 2 hours. So in total, it's gone 6 hours since we started. And I'm now happy with the consistency that I have. So about an hour after I left you, I did check it out. And I decided to skim some of the fat because it was just getting too oily and wet. And as you can see, I got quite a bit of fat. We're looking at like over a cup of fat. Ooh, here. Okay, I got some of the juices in there too, but we're over a cup of fat in. Right, so it's now definitely mushier than it was when we started. It's more of the slop that I want from my Joe. I'm just gonna give it a taste to see how our flavors are. Oh, with my oily spoon. All right, let's stir that around so we forget there was oil on that. That's really good. That's really good. I think I could add a little salt, so I'm gonna do that. And then we should be ready to plate up, so to speak. Now, some people like to get fancy with their sloppy joes, and they'll go brioche, and they'll have all kinds of things going on it, and they'll try and put cheese on it. Me, I'm a bit of a purist. I just go for a plain, ordinary hamburger bun. You can go sesame if you want. This one, like, doesn't even have that. So, to serve, we are just gonna slop our slop onto our bun. I like to be quite generous, but, you know, some people, are daintier than me.
And you've also got to feed 20 people.
I know, I can't get too carried away, because, like, this, I'm making this to give to others, so I can't, like, be greedy and eat it all myself. This is really just for an example. So that is a sloppy joe. I'll get a mandatory picture here, and then we'll have our eating shot. How about that? All right, so now it is time to taste the fruits of our labor. Let's party. Oh my god. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's so good. I'm gonna totally eat this whole thing off camera. That is so good. All right, so enjoy 4th of July, or if you're not celebrating it, I hope you just enjoy.
Let's party in with Lindsey.
Let's party with Lindsey. But yeah, Monikers, definitely give it a go if you can find it. Either way, any party game with your sloppy joes, your guests will love you. See you later. Let's party. Bye. Today, I just realized I was waving a knife around. Oh, hey, welcome to... Why do I do a thumbs up after everything? Why? Imagine if, like, Chef John did that or something. Or, like, Babish.